welcome to the Science Faction Podcast, where science meets fact meets fiction.
This is Science Faction for the week of May 11th, 2026. I'm one of your hosts, Stephen Dominguez, and with me today, two individuals that we will be hanging out with starting Friday.
Is that an invitation for the listeners to be hanging out with?
Yes. No, I said two individuals, not all listeners, not all three of them.
I'm Benjamin Daniel Wallace, and I'm here, and I'm going to be there wherever the party is.
I'm Devon Kraft. I'm going to be in California next weekend.
That's crazy, man. We're going to dye your hair blue. We're going to make you liberal. It's going to be great.
Who's up for broccoli pizza? Let's go.
Oh, man. That is the best joke from Inside Out when Anger is upset about the broccoli on the pizza in San Francisco. It's the best.
I've had it. It's incredible, but I'm very fond of broccoli. So
very fond?
Explain. It was my favorite food for a very long time.
Oh, all right.
So I'm a broccoli enthusiast.
Oh yeah, name 3 broccolis.
All right. There's the green one. There's the kind that's a little bit not. No, that's about it. Yeah, no, there's
broccoli teeny, I think.
Yeah, the broccoli teeny.
That's sort of different.
Is that a drink?
Yeah.
No, is that what it's called? Broccoli, like the when you go to a restaurant, sometimes broccolini.
No, it's broccolini now, and you got to make a drink out of it. It's just gin and broccoli.
If there's any way to ruin broccoli, I think you found it.
Gin. Welcome to the podcast about science and science fiction and broccoli and gin.
Yes, evidently.
Oh my gosh, guys. We all had Mother's Days yesterday. Did anyone do any good celebrating for your wives, your mothers, anything? Hi, Martha.
So we hi, Mom. We have kittens. We have baby kittens. I know I've talked about this quite a bit. I talk about it because they've taken over everything. And so I thought I was doing a good job by waking up early. I set an alarm and everything. But my wife, she just wakes up even earlier in order to take care of the kittens. And so I wake up to her closing the door, whispering, "Happy Mother's Day." And I'm like, oh, dang it. I gotta get going. Oh no. But no, it was pretty good. Pretty good day. I sent my mama a letter and a zine, and I hope she enjoyed it.
In the mail?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
With your hands?
Yeah, man.
It's a baby's toy.
Well, I found like an old Aquabats poster.
Oh, cool.
Like a little, yeah. And so I made it like the centerpiece of a card that I made for her. And good times. And then for my wife, thankfully, now that Flint's 12,
yeah,
he can kind of
run his mother.
I can kind of go, yeah, I can go hey, it's happening this weekend. What are you going to do? Do you need any help? And he did not.
Oh, good. Did he handle it okay?
Yeah, I suppose.
You don't sound very confident.
As much as you could. Man, at this age, he's starting to get a bit of a social life. Mm-hmm. And so we hung out with my mother-in-law and did a little walk in Morro Bay on Saturday and a brunch and stuff. And we knew that was hey, 10 o'clock, we're out in Morro Bay. Well, he had a sleepover the night before. So we're hey, we're picking you up at, 8:45 so you can come home, take a shower and whatnot. Well, he stayed up till 3 with his friends.
Yep.
and and then like he spends the entire rest of the day going like, oh, I'm so tired, and then he heads to bed, and then I hear he's on the phone with his buddy talking about Kerbal Space Program until like 10:30.
Wow.
Yeah, or like 11, and I'm like, well, all right.
I mean, if it's that or drugs, like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Kerbal
yeah.
Space Program,
Man,
that's amazing.
We were watching a little bit of, and I'm sorry, I know I'm kind of like taking over all this, but we were watching the last like 15 minutes of the latest episode of For All Mankind recently. And are you guys caught up?
No.
No, I haven't seen the most recent episode.
Okay.
I think I'm like two behind.
There are things that are happening there are things that happen at the end of the most recent episode, and we were like, hey, Flint, like he was about ready to go to bed, and we were like, hey, why don't you come downstairs and just watch this with us? And he he watched it and he was like, well, that was cool, but those orbital dynamics just do not work. Like my understanding of all this.
Wow.
And I was like, well, earlier in the episode, there was this that was happening because of the atmospheric, like they misjudged the atmospheric, oh man, like the composition of the atmosphere.
Density of the atmosphere, because they're going to be they're aero braking. I mean, I haven't seen the episode, but I know that the mission to Titan is they said they were going to use aero braking for when they got there. Right. I'm assuming it is,
yeah. So anyhow, I was completely left behind in the conversation, but he and Nicole were just arguing about the physics of the For All Mankind episode.
Wow.
And
that's a mark of good sci-fi. It sparks imagination, creativity, conversations, math, all that good stuff.
Yeah, it empowers most of the people that are looking at it to go, oh wow, that's really cool. And then there's a very small amount that it angers because it doesn't get it quite right.
It's wrong.
And now my son is part of that select few.
Oh no, he's gonna be one of those angry nerds.
Yeah, man. And he's like, man, he was comparing it to his experience playing Kerbal Space Program.
Which has pretty decent physics in it. It's not perfect, but there's a lot in that game that teaches you about real life while still being fun.
Yes.
Gotta learn some stuff. Delta V, boy.
Delta V.
All right, you've been talking too much. Devon, all that you have on your note here is Dallas. So tell us all about Dallas.
All right. Jen and I went to Dallas for the weekend, mostly for our 10th wedding anniversary, which was in April. It was April 22nd. But we just hadn't had time to do much. Thank you. Also, her birthday is May 8th. Also, Mother's Day was yesterday. So there's a lot going on. So we went to Dallas from Friday to like Sunday morning because we came home to spend Mother's Day with the kids. Mm-hmm. And we stayed at an Airbnb. We stayed at like an area of Dallas that's got like restaurants and bars and stuff. So it was a lot of fun. We ended up going to the Perot Natural History Museum, which I had taken the kids to before, so I'd seen it, but Jen hadn't been there before. And it's a really well done museum. It's like 4 stories, and really, they got dinosaur bones and all kinds of cool exhibits and stuff. So that was fun. We saw some Waymos driving around Dallas, so self-driving cars.
Yeah.
And then we looked it up, and apparently Dallas is like one of the newest places they've launched like full service Waymos. So we downloaded the app because I'm like, well, I want to take a Waymo because we were going to go certain places that we needed to take like an Uber. Mm-hmm. I downloaded the app, and it's like you need an invite code. So it's not open to like the general public. You have to get an invite code. And I was looking online, and like people are posting their invite codes, but it's like, 3 uses left. And if you don't see it immediately, they're going to be gone.
Yeah.
So we couldn't use that. So on Saturday night, we saw an improv show. And then afterwards, we had to take an Uber back to our place. But when we got the Uber, it ended up being a driving Uber, but it did have a technician in the car because they're still testing those. So we got to ride in a self-driving car, but there was a person behind the wheel. So it's still cool, but it's a little bit of a dampener when you're like, well, there's a person there in case anything goes wrong. Like I want to be in a car where there's like nobody. But
you want to be in a car that's nobody.
Just for the experience. Yeah, just to be like, it's driving itself. It was driving itself. I even asked the guy, I'm like, well, how often do you have to take over? He's like, on a typical day, like 2 or 3 times. And it was interesting because when the car showed up, it was like I had to go in the app to open the car, to unlock the car. And then on the app, it has like all the controls for the car, like the AC and things. So you can control all that from your phone.
Oh, wow.
And then like because you had to be buckled in before it would start. And there's a screen in the back seat that's like, start your trip. But it wouldn't start until you're buckled in because you don't want people to get left behind or not be safe. So that was cool. So we actually did get to ride in a self-driving car, even though we were disappointed we didn't get to go in a Waymo.
Did you ask the guy if he could like close his eyes so that you could pretend it was a self-driving car?
And then it was funny at the improv show. We were like right in the front, like our feet were resting on the stage. So we knew we were going to get like called on for things, and we got called on for like some things at the beginning of the show. But at the very end, on the last thing they did, the host she's like, I need a couple, and she looked at us like, you two, and she basically interviewed us about our entire relationship, and then they reenacted it with all the players on the stage. So it was like we got to see our whole relationship like reenacted by improv people. So that was pretty funny.
You should keep your feet off their stage, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But that's cool. Was it fun? Was it cool getting that amount of attention?
Yeah, it was fun.
How accurate were they?
I mean, not that accurate. They asked us like how we met. We met online and where our first date was. They asked how I proposed, and Jen was like, oh, he proposed at home. And I told them the story. I'm like, well, we had gone to Hawaii like a month before. And, apparently Jen thought I was going to propose, and her friends thought I was going to propose. And they were all waiting for like an announcement online. And I'm like, I just thought we were going to Hawaii for a trip. I didn't realize there was any expectation. And so they played on that. They're like, oh, we're in Hawaii. Isn't it so beautiful? There's a waterfall. Oh, I have to, then the guy who's playing me gets on his knees like, oh, I got to tie my shoe, and
right,
that kind of thing.
All right. That's safe.
Like that.
Safe.
Yeah. And we told them like about our kids. And so they're like, oh, 20 years in the future. And they're reenacted what it'd be like with our kids. So that's funny.
All right. Great.
Right on.
All right. Well, moving right along. I've got like nothing to say about this last week because wife was out of town, and so I was solo dadding and busy, and I don't think, what did I even like? Oh, I mean, the Daredevil season 2 finale happened. I think that was last week. Really good.
Oh, wow.
And that's like it. I mean, I got a bunch of minis I got to paint. That was fun. Those arrived this weekend, but no movement there. More edge runners for the cyberpunk red combat zone game, which is cool. But I got to paint them, so I got to prime and paint and all that. But really, like the big deal for me is that Devon, you're coming to visit, man. And that's exciting because it used to happen more often, but now that you're all the way over in Texas, which, by the way, good job, Texas. You have more registered Democrats than Republicans right now, and that's fun for me. That makes me smile.
Where did you get that information from? I think I might have mentioned that before.
Several places on the internet. It's just but things are all gerrymandered, so who knows what that doesn't really mean too much at this point, but it is a nice thing to be like, that's just
true for statewide elections. I mean, that should come out if there's more Democrats and Republicans, we should have Democratic senators, Democratic governor, but it's Democrats here for some reason don't vote as regularly as Republicans. But we do have, and I've mentioned it before, but in the Senate race coming up, we have James Tallarico, the Democrat, who's polling evenly, if not ahead of the Republicans that he may face. So there's a chance he would actually win, and he's a really good candidate. But for reason we don't know who he's going to run against is because during the Republican primary, there was no Republican who got a majority vote. So there's a runoff between the top two, one of which is the current incumbent senator, who you think would win the primary and have a good chance of winning the general. But he didn't win outright because the second place finisher actually might have been flipped. I think the incumbent got the second place finish and the other guy got the first place finish. But he is more of a MAGA Republican. And so a lot of Republicans voted for him over the, I guess would be the mainstream Republican, even though he's pretty much sucking up to Trump like the rest of them. So anyway, so that's actually good for the race because it forces them to fight each other longer and tarnish each other's reputations longer and spend money that could have been spent on the general election while the Democrat is building up his campaign. So
yeah, I mean,
there's a chance. There's like a 50-50 chance that a Democrat might actually win a Senate seat in Texas.
That's cool. I mean, I like that. And not to get all political on the show, but political things are important. The other like little bit that I heard about Texas is that the Latino vote is swinging way to the left this time around, which makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So
generally, that's true.
Yeah, there's we could talk for hours about this as people do, but I'll put all that aside because you're leaving that SH hole and coming to California. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna play some games. I don't even know what we're gonna do, but it's gonna be great. So looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And that's about it for me.
That's gonna happen quickly. Like I'm leaving on Thursday, so for me it's like gonna be here before I know it.
Yeah. Get your work done and get ready. Get your liver ready and get your dice throwing hand ready. We're going to have fun. All right. Well, let's move ourselves right along to future or now.
Now.
Oh, geez, Ben. Look at all that. Okay, Devon, you go first.
He just noped out of that. All right.
All right. Let's see. What did I choose?
Holy Grail something?
Holy Grail. No. So this is about it's biology.
Okay.
So this is about regrowing limbs. The title of the article from Science Daily is Scientists Found the quote Holy Grail gene that could one day help humans regrow limbs.
Like a starfish.
Like a starfish or an axolotl or a zebrafish, or even mice have the ability to regrow digits, which I didn't know until this article.
Whoa, I didn't know that either. Okay.
Yeah. So, and the interesting thing also is that this was like 3 different research groups that put their information together to compare notes and decide what made sense. So it's kind of cool that they were all studying kind of different things and found a common mechanism to all of these animals. So what they did is they figured out that there's a certain gene, 2 genes in particular, which are called SP6 and SP8, which researchers began investigating exactly how these genes contribute to regeneration. What they did, and they found that it was SP8 specifically that seemed to be in salamanders would help limb regeneration. So using CRISPR technology, which is gene editing technology, they removed SP8 from the axolotl genome. So there's a lot of animal experimentation, and to think of how they went about doing these experiments is probably kind of sad because I'm sure they had to amputate limbs to test how they regrow. But that aside, without the gene, so they took the gene out of the axolotl, they were unable to properly regenerate limb bones. So that's a good test to figure out if this was the right gene.
They took the gene out, made another one, cut off a limb and went, regrow. It didn't. We got the right gene.
Yeah.
Science.
So scientists observed similar problems in mice when SP6 and SP8 were missing from regenerating digits. So using those findings, they designed a viral gene therapy based on a tissue regeneration enhancer previously identified in zebrafish. So they delivered a signaling molecule called FGF8, which is normally activated by SP8. In mice, the treatment encouraged bone regrowth in damaged digits and partially restored some regenerative abilities lost in the SP genes when the SP genes were absent. So they took the SP genes out, which are responsible for regrowing limbs, and then they made this therapy delivering the signal molecule that would have been produced had this gene been present, and it seems to have helped bring back some of the regeneration properties. So, it says human limbs cannot naturally regenerate the way salamander limbs do, but researchers believe future therapies could potentially imitate some of the biological mechanisms controlled by SP genes. So that's basically it, just that we've identified the gene responsible for that, and hopefully we can utilize it for our own benefits. They do note, just as an interesting statistic, around the world, more than 1 million amputations occur every year due to diabetes-related vascular disease, traumatic injuries, infections, and cancer. So we do have 1 million amputations a year. So, yeah, I mean, that's basically it. Yeah.
This just calls to mind Dr. Kurt Connors. Do you know that individual, Devon?
That sounds very familiar. Is that...
Where is it from, Devon?
Is it from a comic book related thing?
Yes.
Is it from Dr. Kurt Connors? Is it Spider-Man related?
Yes.
It is.
You're getting warmer. Okay.
Man.
What else?
He's two for two today.
I'm thinking it's either the lizard guy or Doc Ock.
Okay, which one?
Which do you think it is?
One of those is
lizard.
One of those is correct. Okay, yes. Well done.
Lizards regrow tails, so that seems like they would have been using that.
Yep, you got it.
And I remember that from the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, the best Spider-Man.
Whoa, hot take.
Yeah, my man.
No, that is I mean, so recently I rewatched Spider-Man No Way Home because it's available on the Disney now finally, and his like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man's redemption arc through that movie is fantastic. Yeah, it's really great, and I've even heard a rumor, and this is who knows where this came from. This could just be someone's idea, but to keep going with his series, The Amazing Spider-Man was his series, with a multiversal bend where he finds Gwen Stacy, Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy as Ghost Spider in like another reality, and like that would like truly complete his story arc, which could be a whole lot of fun, but who knows? That's never going to happen. Cool. Axolotl, zebrafish, and mice. And now lizard men that fight Spider-Man.
Might as well.
You want lizard men? This is how you get lizard men. All right. Anything else, Devon? You all done?
That's it.
Excellent.
Yeah,
all right, Ben.
That turned into a bit of a nostalgia dump, which congratulations, you guys get a bit more this week.
Oh boy.
I rewatched a film that I remember I really liked from 1999 called The 13th Floor.
Mm-hmm.
And have you guys seen this film?
Oh yeah, you made us watch it once.
Did I?
I haven't seen it. I've heard a lot about it, but I actually haven't seen it.
There was a time in the early aughts, Ben, if you remember, that we would have like movie nights, and someone would bring a movie, and we just all had to watch it. And I believe The 13th Floor was one of them once.
That's great, because I mean, way to go past me. I rewatched it recently, and it is a sci-fi grade.
Oh,
I'll just say that it's a really incredible. So like, it came out right around The Matrix, right? And so while The Matrix is action kung fu, with some philosophical stuff, this is like like it's got all the virtual reality stuff, but it's a noir murder mystery with a like intense and crazy twist that just it blew my young mind at 7 or 16 when I saw it. And yeah, rewatching it now and Nicole had had no memory of seeing it. So if I did bring it to that night, she was not a party to it. And she, like throughout it, she was like, okay, pause it. Like this is what's going on, right? I was like, that's one thing that could be what's happening.
That's one interpretation.
Right. But I think that it's funny because like if you take a look at Rotten Tomatoes, you get all of the reviews from the era, and it has really like it's at like a 22% on Rotten Tomatoes. Mostly because a lot of people are comparing it to The Matrix, and it is not an action-packed film. It's a talkie. It's about like the basic gist of the film is there's a there's a computer scientist that becomes the primary suspect in his mentor's murder. And his mentor has jumped into a prototype virtual reality simulation of the 1930s, in which he's been going around and he's been dating young women in the simulation.
Oh no!
And he leaves a little note for the for his for the main character in the simulation. And then he comes out of the simulation, gets murdered. And so then it's like, okay, well, who murdered him? What happened? What was the note? Why does this matter? And as you're moving through it, some of the characters in the simulation start realizing that they're in a simulation and that they are being played with. And that is an incredibly interesting thing, because there's the ethics of, well, hey, if you create like a world with actual living things, and yet you are like a god to them because you've created them, is it in your moral imperative to care what they think or what they're doing if they're like ants to you? And that is a really fascinating little nugget that the film explores quite a bit of.
It's real quick. It's like what science fiction movies were before The Matrix.
Yeah,
More
like,
philosophical, more thinky, more probably slower paced.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, because The Matrix changed all that.
Right. It's not a blockbuster by any stretch of the imagination, but it does have like the hallmarks of 90s cinema, the incredible lighting and set decorations. It takes place in Los Angeles in the 1930s, where they're shooting on location in a lot of really old Art Deco buildings. And
Neat.
It's really well lit. But what's also fascinating is that it feels like a Isaac Asimov story. Now, for me, Isaac Asimov is an incredible writer of philosophically based science fiction, but does not get their characters right. The characters exist for the philosophical stuff to be handed to you, and that's kind of happening here too, where the characters are a little thin and shallow.
So the
women just want to find a husband. What you're saying?
Oh no.
Isn't that what happened in the Isaac Asimov we read recently? Where it was
Right.
like the woman was just interested in a relationship with the male scientist. It's like, oh, of course, the woman, that's her like interest in the story.
That was her one defining trait: looking for man.
Yeah.
I would love to get into this, but it does tie into the big spoiler and the big twist in it. So
It sounds like we need to watch this movie when we're all together this weekend.
It sounds like I hit the nail on the
I'll watch
head,
it.
actually.
I'll watch it again, man. I'll watch it. I mean, I just have
Damn
it
it,
on
you guessed
repeat
it.
in the
It's just
corner.
about.
Yeah. So I know I don't have all day, but I do have one more thing I wanted to bring up. So nostalgia dump continued. Instead of an old, almost 30-year-old movie, a new video game that's come out is called Mixtape, and it's this cinematic experience about three teenage friends on their last day of hanging out together before high school ends, and they're going around trying to figure out where they can find booze to bring with them to a house party at the end of the night.
Oh yeah, classic.
It's set in the it's set in the late 1990s. The main character is introducing you to all the things that she's going through via a mixtape of songs by bands that you know and recognize, but they're kind of hits, they're B-sides almost. But it's something truly special. It's genuinely hilarious with an incredible soundtrack. The game takes about 3 hours to play, but it looks like Into the Spider-Verse, but it's a coming of age story. Like, it's equal parts Dazed and Confused, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and High Fidelity, all mixed together into this incredible experience. I'm about halfway through my first playthrough of it. IGN gave it a 10 out of 10 as a masterpiece, and I agree.
Wow.
And it's on a lot of different systems. You can play it on PlayStation 5, on Xbox, on Steam. I'm playing it on Steam. And I think it might be on Switch as well. But if you don't have a video game system, or you don't want to spend $15, you could watch a gameplay video of the entire thing, because it is so cinematic, and still have a pretty good time, even though, part of it, like the sort of half mini games that you're doing are, they're worth it. It's a lot of fun, and it's really touching and funny. So, Mixtape, my friends, and The 13th Floor, depending on your particular brand of nostalgia you want to go for.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah, man.
So we talked a little bit about Mixtape yesterday, because we were getting hot dogs at a brewery for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story. But you said that like so I was curious about the gameplay, because some games that are very cinematic kind of fall apart with the gameplay side of it, or can slow it down,
Right.
or can be like, okay, because like what was I playing? I was playing the one where the girl like takes pictures and can like time travel kind of.
Life is Strange?
Yeah, Life is Strange. So when you were talking about Mixtape, I was reminded of Life is Strange, which again, it's a girl in high school coming of age, and that's also like it's almost it's very similar to like a choose your own adventure almost, where like you get to certain points and you have to make a choice, and that changes the story of the game as you move forward. But then every now and then you come across a part where it's like, all right, now you gotta solve a puzzle, and like you were into the story and it was rolling right along and you were watching things and interacting, and then it's like, all right, now do this puzzle, and you're like, oh, okay, well, that kind of took me out of what the game is. And then you do the puzzle, and sometimes you do the puzzle and you're like, oh, okay, cool, and then you keep going. Other times it's like, oh, I don't know what to do. This just killed the momentum for me. How does Mixtape do that? Okay.
Yeah, this is not that at all. I would say that there's no real puzzles. A lot of the gameplay is sort of mini games of like, hey, we're there's one particular scene that I recall from early on, where you have a flashback to you're at a party. One of your two friends has passed out, and you got to get her home, and so the three of you are leaving, and the cops show up. So then you put everybody into a shopping cart, and you're barreling down the road, and you're like spinning around and like kind of dodging like an entire armada of police vehicles that are chasing you. Like, it's a very very stylistic sort of thing, and very surreal, the storyline. And it keeps the momentum because, and I'm saying this is more of a cinematic game than a game, because the momentum is preserved, because you've got a soundtrack you're playing to. So like you're skating, you're partying, you're avoiding the law, you're making out, you're sneaking out, you're hanging out. And it's like it happens at a pretty brisk pace. Sometimes the momentum slows down a little bit because maybe you've gone into somebody's bedroom and you're kind of like waiting it out, because if you go into back at home and you immediately run up, grab whatever booze you have stashed in the corner of your bedroom, and then immediately leave, that might be pretty like suspicious to your parents. Mm-hmm. So they're like, okay, we're going to hang out and we're going to like talk about different items that are in the environment and like shoot the crap and insult your friends. And
teen stuff.
Yeah, it feels a lot more teeny.
Right.
There's no overarching, like in Life is Strange, you're actually trying to save like timelines and stuff, and it does have like an overarching, really serious plot. This is not that.
There's like a looming time storm in the distance that you're trying to solve the whole time, but this doesn't have that.
No, the main thing that's going to happen at the end here is that you're going to a house party, and you're wondering who's going to be there, and you're kind of dealing with teenage angst, and you're getting into trouble. You're remembering those times where you TP'd the principal's house, but your friend stood up for you and took the heat.
And TPing the house is another mini game, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's another mini game. Another one of my favorites is you get into the car and a Silverchair song starts playing. Like you pop in a mixtape into the tape deck and a Silverchair song starts playing, and so you're controlling the headbanging of the characters
going
in
with
the car
with the music.
Yeah. And you're not getting graded on how well you're headbanging, because who grades that? That doesn't matter. What matters is that you're having fun.
Well, ultimately your doctor grades it when you have severe whiplash later in life.
Sure. But who's thinking about that now?
Oh, nobody. We're going to live forever.
Called grade 3 spondylolisthesis.
Where did you pull that out of, man?
I read a lot of MRI reports for my job. I actually don't know what spondylolisthesis is, but it sounded good.
It sounded real good, man. Yeah. All right. Suggested titles for this episode. Grade 3. How do you... We'll spell it later.
Yeah, I'll leave that to Devon to figure that one out. But yeah, again, so, not The 13th Floor from 1999 as a film, and then Mixtape as a 2026 video game, or just watch a gameplay video. We'll have a link to the gameplay video and a few other things in Mixtape if you're interested, if that sounds cool to you.
Nice. That does sound fun, and having the excuse me, my throat's all phlegmy today. It's weird. Sorry.
It's because you're getting all choked up for nostalgia.
You said Silverchair, and I just started crying. It was no. Was it Frog Stomp, like from that album, or was it something more obscure? Because they got to pay rights to all this stuff.
It wasn't Frog Stomp. It was. I'll find it. They actually show it in the game. Like they, like an MTV.
Oh, like a music video?
Music video, yeah. It shows the name of it.
Like in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, like the artist, album, title.
More like the new standard of it all, where they don't. It's sorry, I found the place. It's at 15 minutes and change and I'm just kind of like keep on trying to like skip ahead to where they show the song title. It was not a song that I easily recognized. Like I know I'd heard it before, but
Oh, that's why you said they're all like
Yeah.
B-sides.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. But like you got songs from Devo, from Smashing Pumpkins, Silverchair, you know, all sorts. Oh, Freak. Freak is the name of the song from Silverchair.
Like I was looking up Silverchair songs. I'm like, I know there was one that was really popular that I remember. I mean, I know they have a lot, but I was trying to figure out which one that is. Maybe Abuse Me, but I'm not sure.
I don't know. Welcome to the Silverchair podcast. My wife will be here momentarily to talk about it for an hour. She was a big Silverchair fan.
Yeah. But you know, or you're making the ultimate slushy, right? Or there's one incredible. Oh my gosh, there's this one part that's like so freaking disgusting. But like your character is remembering her first kiss, and so it goes to a scene where you're seeing the inside of their mouths.
Oh,
and
no.
You're controlling with each stick one of their tongues.
Oh.
and you're like dodging like their braces, and it's just the most disgusting thing ever.
That sounds
until
great.
finally like a little prompt shows up that says that's enough.
That's enough. That is what the
You
first
press
kiss
A,
is
and
like.
that was enough.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, what I was gonna say was,
Truly incredible.
I've got the Xbox, Gold, Ultimate, whatever the thing is that we pay it monthly, and it's available through that. So if you're an Xbox person, you can get it on your PC or your Xbox if you're subscribed to that. And I'm gonna check it out because that sounds. Now that you've talked about that kissing mini game, oh man, that's a must play for me. All right, we are 40 minutes in.
It's unlike anything else. So yeah, enjoy.
10 out of 10 from Ben and IGN.
Yeah.
We're 40 minutes in. It's time for us to take a little break. When we come back, we are diving into Book Club. So I hope everybody read Update on Rules for the Spatiotemporal Use of Campus Spaces by Andrea Kriz. We do have a link in our show notes. It is about a 5-minute read. It's pretty cool.
And you'll be tested on it later.
Yeah, 100%. So go read that and then come back and we'll talk about it. So we'll be right back.
Oh, wow. Another free listener. Incredible. Look, I love that you're here, but let's be real. You could be getting so much more. Bonus episodes, unfiltered takes, behind-the-scenes chaos. All you have to do is join our Patreon at patreon.com/sciencefactionpodcast. Or don't. But if you don't, just know that somewhere in a parallel universe, a better version of you already has.
And we're back.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
And a big thank you to our patrons, Renee and Josh. You guys figured out a little bit about what we're doing. We maybe, I could also ask Josh if he wants to hang out.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I don't know.
What's up, Josh? You brave enough?
All right.
And call you out.
Oh, man. I mean, yeah, it's not like we can't invite Renee, too. I mean,
Oh yeah, she just lives very far away. But both of them are invited to our special weekend. How about that? Contact
might
us.
as well.
We'll have
Yeah.
fun.
All right. So next week, we're going to read a very short story, very, very, very short story called Narcissus Meets the Ghost of Al, or AI. I don't know if it's AI or Al, in a dark alley behind a fusion restaurant.
It's got to be AI,
By
right?
Leslie Hart Gunn. I think, you know what it is? It is AI. Yeah, because that's the I can tell because of the URL.
Okay.
Narcissus meets the ghost of AI in a dark alley behind a fusion restaurant, which is probably almost as long as the entire piece itself, just the title. We'll check that next week. But this week.
Well, hold on, because we got to give him a little teaser. The first couple of lines. I suppose you want my wallet. No, my body then. Ooh.
Jeez. Yeah, narcissist. Okay, gotcha. I'm in. Let's
There
go.
it is.
And this week, we're reading Update on Rules for the Spatiotemporal Use of Campus Spaces by Andrea Kriz. Kriz?
Sure.
Yeah, from Lightspeed Magazine. And my friends, what a wild ride this one is.
This is really interesting, the way this thing is laid out. Because it is like a list.
Yeah,
An
it's
update
just
to rules.
a memo. it's a memo to the community at this college that they've been dealing with a temporal like a temporal event that means that there has been a lot of events that have been happening in all the different time streams at all the different times of the university's history, including future times, and they're all kind of culminating right now, and it they just kind of have to deal with it in a particular, like, you know, basically it's just like, keep your head down, resume your studies. If you need to protest, do so in these particular ways. So we recognize that lives have been lost and lives are yet to be lost.
Well, so like it doesn't, they talk about something that happens in 2045, but we don't know what era they are currently in.
But it is.
Well, 2045 is in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm going to read just a little bit. While we hail from a variety of eras and societal norms, we nevertheless all share a desire to host community events and gatherings. Indeed, such gatherings have become the lifeblood of the university since or due to the future events of the spring of 2045.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And it turns out that during the spring of 2045, a professor whom the name of this professor has been erased from history has been scattered across space and time, and they're hoping that they get like reassembled on April 24th, 2045 in order so that professor can teach the module of the quantum engineering seminar and reinstate the events leading to the construction of the tachyon accelerator that he ends up getting pushed into and creating a nascent time stream.
Mm-hmm. Degrees will continue to be withheld from the class of 2048 until the spectral fragments of Professor Blank scattered across space and time are returned to April 24th, 2045 for reassembly.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So like, this story is laid out like a series of updates to rules from somewhere, right? But through reading it, you are picking out little bits and pieces to try to understand what's been happening, what is causing these new rules to come into effect, right? Every strange rule that you see was put in place because somebody did something. So reading through this, it kind of turns into like a little mystery of like what happened and why are these new rules coming into place?
And it doesn't look good for the university. It seems that they recognize that the university has some very dark days ahead that will involve the death of many of their students, but the preservation of the timeline is more important, not just to like the timeline itself, but also to them ensuring that they receive the proper grants and funding to keep the university going.
It's like they're worried about paradoxes, but not really. Like just a little bit. Money's more important. Demonstrations, rallies, and protests may not last more than 60 times 10 to the 24th chronons, the time period corresponding to the shortest observed fluctuation of the time stream, in order to minimize the risk of cross-dimensional reinforcement loops. What? All right.
Yes. Yeah. And evidently one of there's a particular time loop which ends up turning the university crest into the agonized screams of those, quote, murdered by the actions of the university across centuries. Remember, just as you have your freedom to protest, your colleagues have the freedom to let your protestations pass into forgetfulness in a timely manner.
Jeez.
And these demonstrations, rallies, and protests must not interfere with reading periods for exams.
Coordination between alternate, past, and current protesters is strictly prohibited. You may not compare the university's current actions to its past use of enslaved persons for construction, its employment of armed security to suppress demonstrations deemed disruptive to society, nor its investment in regimes which have engaged in violence deemed appropriate for their eras, as judged by the University Committee on Shareholder Responsibility. There is so much to unpack in Rule 9.
Yes.
Like, what is happening?
Yeah, well, I mean, like the basic gist is that, if anybody's trying to create a straw man argument in order to say, hey, what you're doing is no different than slavery or any of these other things that, the university has condoned but have been on the wrong side of history, that they're like, stop it. We can't argue with you anymore. It may be true, but no more. Stop. Is kind of what they're
Devon, what did you think of this? You haven't talked in a while.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I liked a lot of the same things you guys did. Trying to piece together what exactly the history of the school was based on what they're saying. It was also kind of funny. Did you guys the whole like appearance of the above mentioned instigator must be immediately reported to the university? How
right.
Which
it's like
number
someone
is
it's number 5 and there's 3 subsections. Basically, the person who did this is like, well, I'm trying to prevent a bunch of bad stuff happening.
Oh, the one that pushed the professor blank into the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any appearance of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're saying everything that person says is a lie.
Right.
Which makes you think it's probably true.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Community members are reminded that all past, future, and alternate versions of said instigator have been placed on involuntary leave from the university and no longer subject to the same protections as our students. Ooh. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
good times.
So what happened? Do you guys have a theory? Like, what happened? What's the truth here?
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that this guy, he wins the Nobel Prize for his work in the time stream, and then starts collaborating with the Department of Defense, and ends up like, there's a bunch of protests that are happening at the time, and he starts up whatever machinery he had, and somebody this instigator pushes him into the time stream. He disappears, and it ends up starting some sequence of events that results in like all the protesters that were encamped around the main statue in the quad. They all disappear too. And so where did they go? When did they go? What's even happening? They don't know, but they still have to conduct, everything, because there's the effects of this are being felt rippled out from that time. So not just into the future, but also into the past.
Because this professor was like ripped out of the time stream completely. Yeah. So anything that they've had done or will do is now non-existent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just go to the past and get like an old copy of them.
Right.
From a different time stream.
He's gone.
Right. Yeah. And but they're using whatever methods they have in order to try to maintain whatever shred of peace that they can, which includes the law. They kind of mention, like, for those who have abided by the above, partial amnesty is still available. In return for purging your past, present, future, and alternate selves of involvement with the time stream, I will facilitate your meeting with the secretary of a sub-chair of the University Committee on Shareholder Responsibility to discuss your perspectives. And acquiescing to hearing out your grievances is the least we can do. Sincerely, President of the University, its pasts, presents, and futures.
I mean, this drips of someone who like was a what are they called in colleges? The person on the floor that's kind of in charge. No, like
a speaker.
No. Like in the dorms, like there's somebody on the floor
Oh.
that's like kind of in charge, but not really. What are those people called?
Yeah, I know
was
what you're
never in
talking
a
about.
dorm.
I was never in a
I-
dorm either. Well, anyways, this drips of somebody who has had to deal with colleges and rules, and like this appears to be written by somebody who like knows college stuff intimately. Like this is written by someone who has had to write these kind of rules for students to understand. That's what I get out of it. But the author, Andrea Kriz, at the bottom, there's a little blurb about her. She's a PhD in biological and biomedical sciences, currently doing research in brain genetics at Harvard Medical School. That's pretty cool. She is also part of the Dartmouth Speculative Fiction Project, a collaboration between authors and Dartmouth faculty to create short stories exploring the future of humanity. Her debut short story collection, Learning to Hate Yourself as a Self-Defense Mechanism, is available from Interstellar Flight Press. I might have to check that out. That sounds fun too.
Yeah, so cool.
Wow.
Right on. So did we like it, gents?
Yeah, I liked it.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Did y'all read it or listen to it?
I actually read it. I saw that there was an option to read it, but I actually read it.
I read it as well.
What'd you do?
Yeah, same. Yeah, I didn't use my ears for this one at all.
I mean, it's only 1,100 words. This was like, like I said before, like a 5-minute read. I like stories that just kind of let you live in the fiction, right? Like as soon as you start reading this, you're reading it as if it's real and you're at the school reading the new rules, right? And some short fiction does that supremely well. This one has notes of that. And, there's something to be said about stories that are like, oh, it's told in a traditional manner. But I really like this style. That's a personal thing, I suppose, but I dig it. I thought it was really awesome.
Right on. Yeah, same.
Cool.
All right.
Well, when a story is short and good, like we don't have anything to talk about.
Yeah.
What was the
it's
worst thing
plenty.
about the story?
I mean, I think that, part of it is a story that can have no resolution, right? Like that the state that they're in is just the state that it will be, and cannot be resolved without undoing the entire story that it is.
Yeah.
Thanks, time travel.
This reminds me of something I watched on YouTube recently regarding Back to the Future. So it was one of those like, secret behind the scenes theories about the story. And there's a whole bunch of them. Most of them were nonsense. But there was one where I was like, oh, I kind of like this headcanon. There are 2 times within the Back to the Future trilogy where Doc shows up just in the nick of time without knowing what was happening beforehand to save Marty. Once when Marty's on the roof of the Clock Tower Hotel, right, and in the alternate 1985, and Biff's going to gun him down, and then Marty just like steps off the roof, and then the DeLorean rises up, because Doc was there to catch him. Another time, in the same movie, actually, when Marty on the hoverboard is going through the tunnel as Biff is trying to run him down from behind. And right at the end of the tunnel, Doc drops the flags, the plastic flags that were decorating the like new Lion Estates coming soon. This is in 1955. And, Marty's able to grab those and get lifted out of the way just in the nick of time. The theory is that Doc watched Marty die multiple times, and he kept going back in time until he was able to time it just right to save Marty in both of those instances.
Whoa.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way. But like the rooftop one is like, okay, maybe he was watching off in the distance or something. But the one where he's going through the tunnel, there is no way to see how close the Biff is to Marty as he's trying to run him down. How could Doc time that perfectly? Besides it being a movie moment. Like, I get it, it's just a movie. But like, in universe, how would he have known? He had to have watched Marty get run over by this car several times until he timed it just right, I think. What do you guys think of that theory, huh?
Yeah, that's a good theory. It'd be funny to see like that actually happening.
I mean, that's kind of what Rick and Morty does, you know? Like, they kind of do that kind of, like, I know there's not a lot of time travel stories within Rick and Morty, but like they take that darker tone of like, this could have happened or this could happen that way, but I'm just smart enough to like, not have it happen at the last second. That same kind of dark vibe. Anyways, I thought that was pretty fun. All right. Well, what else was there? Oh, and that Doc.
I think that we.
Sorry, I had one more thought. That like Doc is so precious about the time stream at the beginning of the trilogy, and by the end, he's like, whatever. Let's make a time machine out of a train. let's. He's like, it doesn't really matter. Who cares? Yeah, that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny as well. All right, let's wrap this sucker right up. Devon, you got any final thoughts for us?
I don't at this time.
Okay, maybe at a future time.
Maybe in a future time.
All
I'll
All right, we'll see. Ben, any last words?
My son said, "What rhymes with orange?" I thought about it for a while, but no, it doesn't.
Good night, everybody.
This has been the Science Faction Podcast. Tweet to the host at SciFact Podcast. Email them at sciencefactionpodcast@gmail.com and visit sciencefactionpodcast.com for more episodes.